Could it actually be Donald Trump who stole an election? Bear with me here. Donald Trump has spent 6 years now insisting he really won in 2020. Joe Biden didn't win. Joe Biden stole it. Trump is actually the rightful winner in 2020. We are now in 2026, and increasingly people are asking the opposite question. Was it actually Donald Trump who stole an election back in 2016? Now, you might be saying, that's 10 years ago, David. Wake up. Why is this coming up again? Let me explain why this is coming up again. The Trump White House recently released secret FBI documents about an investigation called Oxford, The documents show that after Donald Trump fired FBI Director James Comey in 2017, the FBI investigated whether Trump was working for Russia, either knowingly, the least likely scenario, or without realizing it, the more likely scenario. That sounds maybe crazy, but it also sounds like there might be proof of something buried in all of it. Let me slow down and explain this. What the documents that were released by Trump show is that the FBI looked at the possibility that Trump was acting on the behalf of Russia, acting for Russia's benefit. Now, before people go, Russiagate, what we're talking about here is a guy who unknowingly is advocating for that which would benefit Russia. And there are a dozen or more reasons why he might end up doing that. It doesn't prove Trump is an overt Russian agent. It doesn't prove that Donald Trump personally stole the 2016 election. Let's talk about what we know. We know that Russia did interfere in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump. Russian intelligence appears to have hacked Democratic organizations and Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. The stolen emails were released through WikiLeaks. Russian operatives also pretended to be Americans online. They bought political ads. They pushed propaganda that was designed to divide the country and to hurt Hillary Clinton. Doesn't require any proactive involvement by Donald Trump personally. But we do know that the Trump campaign expected to benefit. How do we know that? Because Donald Trump Jr. agreed to a meeting after being promised damaging information about Hillary Clinton from the Russian government. And Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort shared internal polling information with Konstantin Kilimnik, who the Senate Intelligence Committee has identified as a Russian intelligence officer. And Trump repeatedly praised WikiLeaks while it was releasing the stolen information that was believed to be damaging to Hillary Clinton. And it was damaging to Hillary Clinton. Everything I've said so far happened. None of it is speculation. Interpretations may differ, but every single thing I just told you took place. Fact check me, trust but verify. You will find that I am telling you what took place. Here's the part that's not been proven, but is a growing topic of discussion. Robert Mueller's investigation did not establish that Trump's campaign had a criminal agreement with the Russian government. There's no evidence that Russia changed votes, hacked voting machines. The Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee said it found no evidence that vote totals were altered. So if the claim that Trump and Russia secretly changed the count and manufactured the victory is the one we're evaluating, there is no evidence for that. And I hope every MAGA person who's hearing this segment is not going to come out of it and go, David Pakman's pushing that Russia... Oh my God, my lights turned... How embarrassing. My lights turned off while I'm talking to you about something so important. That's a lack of professionalism here. They love to straw man and go, what, you think Russia changed votes? That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about here is whether Russia's influence operation changed enough minds to put Donald Trump over the top. Trump won Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania by fewer than 78,000 votes combined. Russia's operation was designed to hurt Hillary Clinton and to help Trump. The WikiLeaks releases hurt Hillary Clinton. Comey's late announcement about Hillary's emails hurt Hillary Clinton. Could that have moved 78,000 votes? Of course it could have. Can anyone prove that they did? No. And again, importantly, we are not saying that that Trump rigged it against Hillary the way that Trump is saying Biden rigged it against him in 2020. We're talking about something totally different. It doesn't involve shadowy manipulation of votes or ham sandwiches being brought in on a van on election day, or it's none of that stuff. It's simply, given what we know, even from documents Trump released, could all of that activity have shifted 78,000 votes? And it's completely plausible that it did. Now, these newly released documents are very important because they show that the FBI was really worried Trump might be compromised by Russia. And it is not a smoking gun that Trump did the stuff. But what we can say is already it's bad enough, I guess is the phrase that I'm looking for. Trump won a legitimate vote count after benefiting from an illegal Russian attack. His campaign welcomed the help. Remember Don Jr. going, especially over the summer. I love it. And they used stolen material politically and lied about disturbing contacts with Russia. And then 4 years later, Trump genuinely lost an election and invented this super complicated vote-stealing conspiracy without evidence. We're just saying 78,000 votes could certainly have been changed by the influence operation that there was. We don't have the ability to say Trump stole it, but we can certainly say Russia tried to help him win. Trump was happy to accept the benefit, and his concerns in 2020 and in 2024, and now heading into the midterm elections about so-called voter integrity, his concerns about voter integrity are limited to situations where he believes that he may lose or that he did lose. In 2016, when he won, it doesn't matter who helped whom. None of it makes any damn difference. So it's really important that when these Russia gators, these are the people who go, the Russia hoax, Russia, Russia, Russia. We're not making any of the crazy allegations that Trump is making about 2020 without evidence. We're simply saying there was enough activity there to change the minds of 78,000 people with propaganda that came from a foreign country for the benefit of Donald Trump. No Mike Pillow cyber guys need to look into it. No fake slates of electors. None of the stuff Trump actually alleged or did. Just could 78,000 votes have been changed? And it seems as a very plausible answer to say, yeah, they absolutely could have. Identity theft usually does not start with some movie version of how hacking takes place. It's boring details that are easy to find. Your full name, current and former addresses, phone number, date of birth, employment history. If you put a bunch of that stuff together, people can then start to figure out, do I know your security answers to security questions? Can I open accounts in your name? This is why our sponsor Incogni exists. Incogni works to remove your personal info from the internet, places like people search sites, online directories, commercial databases. Incogni starts by removing your info from hundreds of the most well-known ones and will follow up until it's done. And if you Google yourself and find your info anywhere outside of this database of hundreds of these sites, you can submit a link to Incogni and they will do what's called a custom removal. All of these processes are independently verified by Deloitte, and you can get 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/Pakman with the code Pakman. The link is in the description.